it was the day before the first day of shoot. And I told my daughter, I really want to do this film. It means a lot to me. And I'll always be there for what you need, but I also need to work. The next morning, she was like, Mama, have a great time at work. I think it's a very good show, very strong show. Very strong on the that feeling that, oh my God, can you believe this happened? It's got that feeling in it. That gossip come with like societal shocks and things like that. Anurag loves to improvise. So if he asked me to change something, I would be like such a nervous wreck. They wouldn't say cut, because they wanted to see what I would do next, and so they would just let me like fumble and so but I also had a great time on the set. It was a really, really sweet group of people coming together.
Aditi from YGHT or Natasha from ZNM?
Definitely Aditi. Yeah. Please, I hope I'm not like Natasha.
Hi Kalki, how have you been?
Hi Tonakshi, I'm usually the one who has to mispronounce my name, but today it's you. I've just learned how to pronounce your name, Tonakshi.
Now I'm feeling really special. Thank you for that. But how have you really been? I mean, you've come to Delhi, and Delhi's heat is something right now. So how are you finding it?
Yeah, very sweaty, very sweaty. I'm glad that we have ACs. At this point, but yeah, it's exciting to come back. I haven't been in a while.
Yeah,
I think the last time I was here was actually for Made in Heaven shoot. So yeah, it's nice to be back.
And today you are here for Goldfish, the film that's finally coming up in theatres. So congratulations to you for that firstly.
Thank you.
Secondly, festivals में बहुत अच्छा perform किया है Goldfish ने. People have actually liked the film. So what do you have to say about that? Are you expecting the same response in theatres as well?
Yeah, I think that I'm really expecting a lot from my audience because I think we've been so starved of cinema in theatres because of COVID, because, things have been a little bit strange in terms of like everything is coming out on OTT directly and things have changed in the system. So I feel it's very exciting to have an indie film like this come out in the theatres. And, I feel like I miss going to the theatre. Like we've just stopped going. We just watch everything on our laptops or our screens at home. And it's nice. It's nice to have this feeling of getting back to the theatres.
Yeah. And thanks to OTT for that as well. Definitely.
Yeah.
Because OTT ने हमें बहुत busy रखा है हम सबको.
Absolutely.
की आदत कहीं ना कहीं जा चुकी थी.
I mean, so much employment and also credit to so many writers and musicians and all the other crew members that are also getting the kind of opportunities that maybe they didn't have before.
True, very true. So Deepti Nawal is also there in the film. She's played your mother. So I want to know what kind of chemistry did you guys have on the set when you were not shooting?
Yeah. So actually we got on very well, me and Deepti ji is very, she's funny because she's so quiet, so demure and then suddenly she just switches when the camera comes on, because in this character she's quite a hard person and both of us are quite difficult people. So that new like chemistry used to come out as soon as the cameras were rolling, and it was really nice because it would always surprise me. And then it was like I wasn't with Deepti ji, I was with this other woman, and then you become another person because the other person is giving you so much. So it was great.
And was it an emotional ride for you personally doing this film?
It was definitely, because when I did this film, it was my first film as a mother after I had a baby. And I brought my child with me to London where we were shooting because at that time I was still breastfeeding. And I remember, because of lockdown, I was a 24/7 mother, and she had me to her beck and call. And suddenly she was like, where is the center of my universe? Why is she going away from me? And it was very, very hard in the beginning. She was, she didn't want to let me go. And one day I had a chat with her, like it was a few days, because we came 10 days before, I think it was, because of the COVID bubble. We had to be in a bubble. We couldn't meet others and all that. So I was there already prepping for the film and all. And I was like, it was the day before the first day of shoot. And I told my daughter, I really want to do this film. It means a lot to me. And I promise you I'll be here every morning and every night. And I'll always be there for what you need, but I also need to work. And after I said that, the next morning, she was like, Mama, have a great time at work. And she went, where's Nanny Manda? She was looking for the nanny. And basically there was some kind of, she understood. Like I just spoke to her like a person, like an adult. And she was, she really, so I've used that technique with her a lot now. When I need to explain something, I just explain to her what I really feel. And it's been wonderful to have
That's
that.
really sweet, actually.
Yeah.
It's very sweet.
So yeah, I mean, that was like the big tumultuousness for me in the beginning of this film. But I think having that layer also helped, becoming a mother and knowing what that means when you have an estranged daughter, when you have a difficult relationship with your daughter and your mother. Yeah, it's really one of the most heartbreaking things because it's such a strong bond when you're born.
True. Okay. So एक कल की वो रही है जिन्हें हमने एज अदिति देखा है, टॉम बॉय अदिति, जो लोग कहते हैं आओ आओ हम तुमसे डरते हैं क्या, एंड एक अदिति वो है, एक कल की वो है जिन्हें हम जानते हैं एज अ मदर टू अ वेरी ब्यूटीफुल डॉटर, जिनकी आपने अभी बात की. हाउ हैज मदरहुड चेंज्ड यू, कल्की?
How has it changed me? I don't know. I think you just become very organized because multitasking is such a thing. You suddenly know how to use Excel sheets. And I don't know, I think it strips you down to your basics. You suddenly realize what are your priorities. You really want certain things and you really don't want certain things anymore. So it just goes back to your basics, I think. It reminds you of what you're here for,
Yeah. Let's go down the memory lane for a while. So your first proper film was Devdi.
Yeah.
उसमें चंदा का कैरेक्टर आपने प्ले किया and everyone loved it. It was a critically acclaimed film then also, and people love it today also. So do you remember the time जब आपको वो पहली film मिली? How was it like going on the film sets for the first time?
That time I was very nervous about my Hindi. मेरी हिंदी बहुत खराब थी, अभी भी थोड़ी खराब है, लेकिन तब तो बहुत ही basic थी. And I had mugged my lines. Like you could wake me up in the middle of the night and I'd be able to say my lines like that. I was so like, I had done it like a rota, And so if anyone asked me, like, Anurag loves to improvise. So if he asked me to change something, I would be like such a nervous wreck. And they had a great time ragging me also, because they'd be like, they wouldn't say cut because they wanted to see what I would do next, and so they would just let me like fumble and so but I also had a great time on the set. It was a really, really sweet group of people coming together. We were in Delhi a lot of the time. We were in, so I had a good time here.
ओके, सो ये जवानी है दीवानी की, जिंदगी ना मिलेगी दोबारा की, गली बॉय की, ये कुछ वैसी फिल्म्स है जहाँ फ्रेंड्स का बहुत ज्यादा कनेक्शन रहा है. दे सेंटर्ड अराउंड फ्रेंड्स, फ्रेंडशिप अ लॉट. सो हाउ वाज द एटमॉस्फेयर लाइक ऑन सेट्स on especially such films?
I really love working on films which are about friendship or which are more than just romantic liaisons, because I think life is like that. It's complex. We have all kinds of relationships, and I don't know, I feel like you also become friends when you work on films like that, because, I mean, you just end up bantering a lot, and there's no sort of hierarchy. Everybody's very important in the film. Everyone's got some kind of sort of point for being in the film. So I loved that about it. Yeah.
So
I feel lucky.
On one hand, you do film. You have done films like YGHT, ZNMD, and things like that, and Gully Boy. On the other hand, you do films like Margarita with a Straw. Then there's Ribbon. Then there was Shaitan. There are so many films that the list can go on and on. So, what is your approach like when you are saying yes or about to say yes to a film? What do you look for in a script?
I look for just something in my stomach. When you read a script and you get that little like excitement, butterflies, when you know there's something there that you want to know more, you want to know how do I, you immediately want to get into that character. That's for me the exciting part. Of course, you have many different reasons to do a film. Sometimes you want to do a film just because of the director, because it's a really good director. Sometimes you want to do a film because you just want to break out of what you've been always boxed as, stereotyped as. So there's all kinds of reasons, but ultimately, I think it's that little thing in your stomach that's moving.
Yeah. But who is that one director today in your life जिसको आपको लगता है कि जिनके साथ आप regularly काम कर सकते हो and you can never get bored of?
Wow. That I really loved working with, huh? I mean, obviously I work with Zoya again and again, and I love working with her. But if there was somebody that I wish I could work with more, who would it be? There's so many good directors.
Okay, name
I
three.
really miss working with Dibakar Banerjee. I
Yeah.
loved working with him. And in fact, I've worked with him twice now, but one of the films hasn't released. The first was Shanghai, and then I did a film called Freedom, which hasn't come out. But I don't know. I have to work. Oh, wow.
Difficult to choose.
Rakhi, I also really liked working with Rakhi,
Yeah.
Rakhi Sandhilya, who did Ribbon. And definitely Goldfish. Actually, Pushan Kriplani is a friend from theatre as well, my director. And I mean, I could work with him again and again. Yeah.
Okay. Acha, personally, what are you more like? Like Aditi from YGHT or Natasha from ZNM?
Definitely Aditi. Yeah. Please, I hope I'm not like Natasha. No, I think I grew up being quite a tomboy, and I had like these train track braces as a teenager, and then suddenly when those came off, I was like pretty, and I was like, oh, wow.
Like a new person.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So आजकल एक और सीरीज है जिसकी बातें हर कोई कर रहा है. When it comes to you, तो ये possible नहीं है that I don't talk about it today. It's Made in Heaven season 2. Everyone is like binging it on. Everyone is talking about the series, the season 2, and you have played a very important role in season 2 especially. So what has your journey been like?
I've enjoyed it. I mean, I think it's a very good show, very strong show, very strong on the, that feeling that, oh my God, can you believe this happened? It's got that feeling in it, that gossip come with like societal shocks and things like that. I think it really reflects well. I mean, reflects not well on our society, but reflects the truth about our society. And I really enjoy working with the whole team. I loved this season. We had a new director on board, which was Neeraj Kewan, and I loved working with him. Yeah.
एंड जिम के साथ काम करना कैसा है? बिकॉज जितना मैंने उनके साथ इंटरव्यू किया है अभी तक, या जितना मैंने उनके बारे में सुना है, ही इज लाइक अ वेरी नॉन फिल्टर गाय, वेरी फन. कैसे है वो सेट पर आपके साथ?
We get on very well. We've always had some kind of ease when we act together, and because the show is a lot heavily in English, I can improvise completely. Like, so both of us end up doing something that we didn't plan to do, and we bounce off each other really well. We've also worked in theatre before. We've done theatre together, so I think that also helps.
Okay. So what are your plans future के लिए कि जैसे अभी आपने Goldfish किया, and Goldfish did really well at the festivals, as I already said, and now it's about to come in theaters. We'll see the response then, of course. But अभी कैसा mindset चल रहा है? Because आपने हर तरह की films की है, हर तरह के projects किए, light hearted भी किए, बहुत serious भी किए, कुछ ऐसे भी किए जिन्होंने लोगों को सोचने के लिए मजबूर किया है. So what kind of roles are you exactly looking forward to right now?
See, I don't think I can plan anything post-motherhood. It's just an achievement to be here today, Put my child to bed last night, then caught a flight, then came here, So yeah, I think it's just about taking the next steps. And the next steps for me right now are obviously Goldfish coming out on the 1st of September. I'm very excited about it. And then I have a film that I've done called Kho Gaye Hum Kahan, which is again a Tiger Baby production with a new director called Arjun Singh. And I'm playing a character opposite Siddhant Chaturvedi. So looking forward to that.
And I really wish कि आज अपने थोड़ी और ज़्यादा हिंदी बोली होती।
हाँ, वो तो मैं कर सकती हूँ। अगर आप हिंदी में बोलते हो तो मैं कोशिश करती हूँ
आपने
आपको
इतना बोल दिया,
जवाब
इतने में अच्छा
दे
लग गया
दूँगी।
मुझे।
ठीक
I'm happy with
है।
this. But
जी,
thank you very much, Kalki. बहुत अच्छा लगा आपसे बात करके. It was as candid as I always, wanted it to be. And we wish you all the very best for Goldfish and the upcoming projects as well that you're already working on or maybe planning to work on. But it was absolutely fun having you here today.
थैंक यू सो
Thank
मच।
you.